let's go. Pulse Nation, we are here. We're not going anywhere. Hands up for the people one time, yeah. Hands up for the people one time, yeah. Pulse Nation, we are here. We're not going anywhere. Hands up for the people one time, yeah. Hands up for the people one time, yeah, yeah. Pulse Nation, we are here. We not going anywhere. Hands up for the people one time, yeah. Hands up for the people one time, yeah.
It's timeless, the course of freedom is priceless. That's why I enjoy ripping mic devices. You got Westcott, ATX, and Post Disciple, and Wales only got you in the scope of his rifle.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Crypto Wonder here with another episode. Hope you're doing well. Let's get right into it. You know, for quite some time, I've been saying, with respect to DeFi and social media, I've been saying for a while that crypto Twitter or crypto X is like a cesspool, you know, for people who just want to consistently rage, throw daggers, insults, feud, yell, argue through their thumbs on some type of device to express their opinions as if the world cares, you know? And you have to understand, like, with social media, these things are created by design for you to care, for you to be addicted to whatever you see in these apps, on the computer, on your phone, whatever you want to, however you connect to the internet. And with respect to Twitter, it's like, or crypto and X, you're wondering, wow, you definitely have to take account as to what type of information you're basically accepting and absorbing through these devices, because I've often said this too. Be careful of what type of information you take in, you ingest, you process, right? It's almost like similar to the foods that we eat. Whatever we eat, we become. So when you're reading, you're scrolling, you're doing whatever it is that you're doing on Twitter, and you're thinking, something that you see on a timeline might basically alter a thought, make you feel a certain weird way, changes your mood, things like that. So this is why you have to be mindful, because, again, social media, you could become whoever you want to be. You can create, you could be the biggest superhero in the world on social media, right? Then when you get away from social media, you have to deal with what? The real world. And more often than not, nobody cares about your persona or your internet life. They just, it doesn't matter. And I say this because I have to remind myself, like, this, you know, over the last several months, I've made numerous content regarding DeFi and things of that nature. I've expressed how certain things I didn't agree with, as far as sacrifice projects and certain builders who've created projects off the backs of the people, giving them money, and how those certain builders have just been very hypocritical, right? Have been, you know, have shown their racist views, discrimination, and all these things, right? Now, when we talk about this decentralization, that's one thing that I realized. In as far as decentralization, you can't keep anybody, like block anyone or prevent anyone from utilizing some type of protocol or system that's decentralized. As much as you would love to, like a person like me, I would, like to be real, like be human. Let's be real for a second. I don't want to engage in a system with the likes of some type of wicked, nefarious, malcontent, evil person. I don't want them sharing what I got going on. But if you want to deal with this centralization, this is what comes with it. This is what comes with it. The same way I wouldn't want to be gatekept is the same rule applies for everyone and anyone else, good, bad, or ugly. It's just the price. I don't want to think about that too much because it's an ugly truth. I come to realize that there's a great deal of immaturity among people in crypto. A huge, maybe it's because I'm a man of a certain age. I'm not a millennial. Shout out to the millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Shout out to y'all because you guys and gals will be carrying the torch for the not so distant future. You're carrying the torch right now as we speak, though, moving ahead in the future, while the older generations are phasing out in a natural way. But I don't envy y'all. One thing I don't do is I don't engage in, when you're talking about certain things with money. It's funny, like I've said this before too in crypto, like people have attached comedy, in a sense, something of a humorous, comedic, satirical nature you find in crypto. People find parody in money value, and through meme culture they make jokes, right? This is absent outside of crypto, in my opinion. I don't know where else you'll find people memeing the dollar bill as much as you find it in crypto, or memeing a cryptocurrency. Like in real life, right? When you have commitments to meet, no one cares about your memes. In crypto, it's everything. It's become everything. It literally has become everything. People consider Bitcoin to be a meme, and I've seen it, I've heard it, everything. But you gotta attach utility to it, right? How can it be useful to a person? And then it gets to a point where, I'm watching how individuals just everything is about, clicking up to the newest, the shiniest, right? Idea and all this stuff. And although that's not necessarily bad, it really isn't. But again, things have to prove itself over time, right? That's across the board. Then you have other things where people come in, they see what works, and they try to take what works and do something else to create something else. Perhaps a clone, perhaps a copy, right? So that they could say they've done it. Everyone has an agenda out here. Everyone has an agenda. And I'm giving you 2 examples. I've given you like out of thousands. I can't think of thousands, but everyone has a story and everyone has an agenda. But what I find weird and bizarre, this term toxic maxi came out last summer of 2023. by builders and founders who were on a stream and who were basically spoken with gentlemen from Pulse Nation who basically confronted them and asked them good questions and provided like real thought-provoking dialogue that everyone agreed with. But then soon after that stream, that days later, this word started to get spread calling, toxic maxi, this toxic maxi, and nothing of the sort was brought up on the stream. It's these activities that you find in crypto that if you really want to just basically succeed, you almost have to block all that interference, all that static interference, because it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction, and it keeps you away from what matters. It keeps you away from being focused and concentrate on what it is that you need to do, to be prepared for, to be ready for, so that you could be well positioned for something that we know, just like everything else in life, will return as far as the oncoming bull market in this crypto space. Being ready for it. Okay? There's one thing about the founder of Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Ink Token, Richard Hart. And I'm speaking from a person, when I speak about this, I come from a different perspective here. I come from a different perspective where I didn't care for anything he had to say 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't care for his project. I didn't care for the token, nothing. But there's one thing that over the years that I've learned, among many, dealing with this, watching this man. He's actually even said it to the world. He's in this for glory. Regardless of the opinions of anyone else, the man is in it for the glory. And what I've noticed up to this point, no one in the community that he's helped to create and build, no one in the community has even come forth to show that they can meet Richard where he's at and do better than Richard. We're talking years of experience. We're talking years of evidence, of proof of work, literally, proof of time, proof of energy, proof of giving information, proof of teaching, right? Proof of giving information without charging a dime. Over several years. Proof of helping people change their lives monetarily. Proof of that is on the blockchain itself. Like, there's things that this man has done to date that many, like, I'm telling you, no one in the community can really hold a candle next to him. And he's doing it being himself. It's not an act. He's not in character. Doesn't seem like he's, he might wear eclectic clothing, but, he's not in a proverbial costume, in a sense, putting on a show, shucking and jiving. But because people sometimes take a certain approach and are extremely intellectually lazy and are unwilling to do any work for themselves because they expect everything for nothing, people do not want to apply critical thinking. People do not want to really study and understand and accept and comprehend what's going on here and what's been taking place here. People don't want to read between the lines. They just want everything for nothing. In other words, instant gratification. They want instant gratification instantly, every day, all the time. Meanwhile, that's not what this is all about. In this side of the DeFi waters, it's not what this is all about. It's about having a balance. Because yes, delayed gratification is something that's supported greatly. Thinking long term, supported greatly. But at the same time, while you're thinking long term, while you're delaying your gratification, what work are you doing today to ensure that you will be present when it's time for you to receive what you delayed your gratification for? What are you doing today to improve a certain quality of your life? What are you doing today to improve your health in mind, body, spirit? Today, onwards towards reaching your goal. This is about setting goals, honoring your goals, respecting yourself, respecting a promise that you made to yourself, and at the same time, benefit from a wild and crazy ride. Okay? That's why I think for myself, I'm not allowing certain insignificant issues that people want to create mountains out of, molehills that are so petty. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, you know. I don't talk about other things. I don't talk about other communities. I don't talk about much of anything outside of what I talk about for a reason. For a reason. Because I've seen it time and time again. I've seen a lot in this space. Too numerous to even mention, of people thinking that they have the best of the best ideas, the best innovation, the best technology. We're talking years. And you're going to continue to hear people come out and tell you they have the best this, the groundbreaking that, the revolutionary this, and all these new things, advancements. And I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not. I'm saying I'm one person. A dog has 4 legs and only walks one path. I'm not going to distract myself in so many different directions, and before you know it, I can't focus on any one. That's not how this works for me. If I'm on the highway, I'm driving, I have to look forward. I can't look forward, up, down, left, right, and behind me all at the same time for the sake of diversifying my view, scope of vision, proof of vision. That doesn't make sense. And I see that there's people in the community that have that zeal, that luster, that drive to win, the drive to be motivated, the drive to learn. They're brilliant. They got things to offer. They want to do great things. There's nothing wrong with that. But pay attention to really what you're doing and what's going on around you. You know, we forget sometimes. We think that our reality is the sum total of everyone's reality, and that's not the case. That is not the case. Just for what I do for a living, reminds me to be grateful every day for what I have. Because the population that I work with and I serve are the most vulnerable population in a westernized society in the United States, and what someone calls the #1 type of urban metropolis in the world. You have people who have nothing that are coexisting. They don't know anything about decentralization. All they know about is when can they eat, where can they sleep. If they're hurt, who's going to take care of them? How are they going to make it to a doctor if they have no money, no anything? Sometimes they have to end up on the street to get picked up by a passerby or some type of good Samaritan that notices them and calls for medical attention and help to come through and pick them up and take them for emergency care. People are living on the street. People who prefer to commit a petty crime and get locked up than to live on the street. They prefer to be in jail than to be outside. People who suffer with unimaginable levels of illnesses, including mental illness. Imagine a person loses their mind, they don't have much. And then you come over to social media, crypto, where you thinking you could possibly use this as a healthy outlet to connect with like-minded individuals and inspire one another to do great things. And then you find people arguing, complaining, basically bitching about ideology and their thoughts and who's tougher than who's more smarter than who can outsmart, outwit who. All the while, when you look at what the founder has done, in addition to speaking about crypto, he's also kind of like, not kind of, but also expressed his thoughts over the few years about politics. Go figure. Because there's an entire world taking place out here that's greater and larger than crypto. Crypto is just a tool. I see it as that. And folks just want to make sure that their reality becomes all about crypto when it shouldn't necessarily be that way, in my opinion. Like, I don't live and breathe in crypto. I gotta, again, obligations and commitments to meet as a man, responsible human being who holds myself accountable and make no excuses. So I'm not engaging with immaturity, childish behaviors, the real toxic shenanigans that take place in crypto, you know. And I wish those who want to connect with negativity on that level, I wish you all the best. Good luck. Because when you ingest poison, what do you think the effects of that poison will bring? Again, whatever you ingest, whatever you think, whatever you process, whatever you take in, you invariably become. Take care.